Hopefully you can hear me. So, this is an old idea that I had of essentially turning a smartphone into a dual disc. I came up with this idea around the same, pretty much the same, like minutes after I came up with the idea of the DSP, and then started, making videos about the DSP. I had the idea of being able to use a smartphone as the DSP, as the dual disc, as the main system of the dual disc. And I just need a way to mount it. So obviously it'd be like a phone case that you can put on your wrist, as you can see in this video from DGS Anime. You see he has a similar idea to what I have. Right now I am sketching out paper and pen the dueling phone case, the DPC. So let me talk about some of the aspects of the dueling phone case. Obviously, you can put a phone in it. Obviously, you're gonna be using the phone. The phone should have a touch screen. The phone should have front-facing camera, which is not going to be able to use the back camera for the dual disc aspect of this. The ability to read card, instead of having each slot capable of reading and recognizing the cards. Instead, every time you're going to play a card, you show the front-facing camera the card. It'll read it, recognize it, and it'll appear in the app. YUGIOH Android app or AR or whatever it ends up being called. But right now, we're used to calling it YUGIOH AR. But gotta evolve with the times, right? So use the camera to recognize the card, and then once you see the card, is in the app, you'll touch the screen to where you want to summon the monster, to whatever monster zone you're going to summon the monster into, and then the monster will appear in a 3D fashion. You'll be wearing the dueling glasses, or Oculus Rift, or Yu-Gi-Oh, Google Glass, or HoloLens, Apple's HoloLens, or whatever form of visual device you'll be wearing on your face to display the augmented aspect of the app's capabilities. That's what that's for, right? So originally, I wanted the slots to recognize the cards, right? But I was like, nah, just make it where we just need the app to know to recognize the card. Right? We just need one camera instead of having essentially 10, 11, 12, about 12, because if you add the extra monster zones for the U-Link, instead of having 12, for the spells and traps as well, obviously 5 spells and traps plus the 5 main monster zones, so that's 10 slots, plus the 2 extra monster zones for the U-Link thing. Boom, that's 12. And then of course there's the field zone, so that brings up to 13 slots. And instead of having a camera for all 13 of those slots to recognize the cards and stuff like that, take all that away and just go and bring it down to one camera. So that's the front-facing camera on the smartphone, right? Show the card, it'll recognize the card, then you tap onto the touchscreen where you want the monster summoned. Then place the card into the slot, the corresponding slot in which where the monster is being summoned, or the spell card is being played or set or whatnot, and go from there. Of course, I still have to add this aspect to it. Sorry. which is the ability to, at least when you're setting a card, you don't need to use the camera to set a card. You just need to be able to place. So, you know, incorporate the ability to be like, alright, I'm setting this card, you know, I'm setting 3 cards on my spawn trap zone areas, and these are the zones at which I'm setting these cards. You'll touch the screen and, you know, indicate that that's what you're doing, and in the augmented aspect of the app, you'll see that stuff. Life points, all that other good stuff, sound effects, animations of monsters attacking, all that stuff. You know, that would be, you know, features will be added on. It is possible to add them, so, you know, why not, right? Add them, make it better, make the game more fun in that regards. To me, just 3D models of the monsters appearing, you can see them, is good enough for me, but that's just me. Most people want more than that. They also will want animations for the spells and traps, but I don't agree with it. It's not necessary. It's just more, you know, it's like icing on a cake that already has icing on it. You know what I mean? Like, the cake is fine. You don't need to put more icing on it. You know what I mean? But you know, to each their own. But as you can see in this, you know, on the screen, you'll see that this guy, he has his phone, and that's Dueling Links. That's the app that he has on his phone, you know, which is a official Konami game app. So he's using it as a example of the concept of being able to play a digital version of Yu-Gi-Oh on your wrist. But to be able to incorporate more physical aspects, obviously similar to what I'm trying to do, which is the idea. Now he's just expressing the concept. He's not making anything other than that makeshift cell phone holder, you know, mounted to this, you know, strapped to his wrist. You know, that's as far as he's going with that, because he just want to share his idea, which is, you know, fine, because then there'll be somebody similar to me who could, you know, engineer it and, you know, make it a reality, right? So why not share the idea if you have an idea, because it could become a reality. That's the whole point. When I started the whole Duel List thing, was just sharing the idea of the fact that, like, hey, with current technology at the time, because I saw something, there was a video on YouTube I saw, and somebody made a holographic, they had a hologram of a rotten, like a dead rat, the like you can see the guts and the skeleton, like it was a dead rat, and it just automatically reminded me of a Yu-Gi-Oh card, which was like of a zombie rat. I think it was called Rat Zombie or something like that. And it's like, well, that's interesting. Imagine using that hologram when you play the card Rat Zombie, and then that will pop up. Obviously, you'd rather summon something better like a Blue Eyes or something, but it was just an interesting thing. It's like, all right, that's cool. You know, there's some holographic technology being made out there, being put out there. Over the years, it's just like that technology is not really good. It's not the real type of hologram, or real holograms, or so a true hologram is the term I want to use. So we haven't gotten to true holograms yet. The closest we have is, there's some companies, and I've showcased some of those videos on my channel, showcasing that some companies and some, you know, people out there that have created stuff that is very close to the true hologram concept, you know, by using some of the methods that I outlined, which was the light on light projection concept, as well as with, in order for light on light projection to be possible, is to make a dirty laser. You want one laser beam that basically has some type of particle, whether it be dust particle or something like that, especially if it's a laser beam of light that can attract the dust particles in the air and you know, suspend it, hold it in a specific spot, and then you project with you know, like a laser projector, you know, aka the duelist, onto that cloud, right, screen, whatever you want to call it, of dust particle. Then you'll be able to see essentially the hologram, and that's the closest, most truest hologram you can get to, right? Because you're using light, using particles, dust particles in the air, and you're projecting something three-dimensional ish in thin air. You know, you're not using water vapors like the original hologram that I saw. The video quality wasn't that good, that's why I didn't know that it was water vapors, and a projector projecting onto water vapors. So that was like the first concept of holograms, and it was a nice concept, but it's like, nah, I'm not gonna go around carrying a air conditioner like device that that shoots water vapors, and then you just have a projector strapped to your wrist shooting onto the onto the water vapors, you know, onto the steam, whatever you want to call it, right? It's like, yeah, that's not good enough. We can do better. And that was the idea of, like, you know, going from there, and that's how I came up with the light on light concept and the dirty laser, as I call it, and all this other stuff. But now some scientists have done stuff where they combine the photons that comes from lasers produce photons, you know, and combined it with some gas, aka made the laser dirty, you know, made it tangible, so that way you can project something on it, make it reflective. And they were able to create, you know, laser holographic stuff in the air. So it's like, oh, okay, that proves that my concept works. The closest I've come to, because I've actually did it before, way before that video even was a thing, is that I used to have something I made where I had a laser pointer, and then I had what is it called, a small electric motor connected to a battery, 9-volt battery, and a switch to turn it on and off. And it had a platform onto it that spinned, and it had a mirror, had a reflective surface, best way to describe it. Reflective surface, mirrors, whatever, that was like crazy glued onto it, so that way when that circular mirror will spin once you turn the electric motor on, right? And it was angled in a way so that way it will shoot. It would be at like a 90-degree angle, something. What is it? 90? No, 45, 90, yeah, 90-degree angle. Anyway, point is, it was at an angle. The laser pointer will shoot, you know, the laser beam towards it, and it will be reflected, and it did a vortex-like funnel of green laser light. So when you look up into the ceiling, you'll see a circle. You'll see a green circle, just laser light, you know, just going around real quick in a circle. So you'll see a green circle when you look up. And then when you look, and then when you take a can of Axe body spray, you know, 'cause I use Axe body spray and Axe products. I use Axe body spray, and I sprayed the, you know, where the lasers are shooting. Sprayed it, and boom, you're able to see the lasers because of the lasers, you know, reflecting off of or illuminating the aerosol or the Axe body spray that's in the air. Because once you spray it, it stays in the air for a while, and then the Axe spray, you know, evaporates or just, you know, falls down. So the fact that you have these little water vapors in the air, so basically I just did the same thing as the whole water vapor, you know, laser projection, you know, thing. So I did a version of that, is what I'm saying. So that's like the closest to the dirty laser thing, where I put something. But then, interesting enough, I did take it up a notch and did the actual dirty laser version. I think I should still have the video for that should be on the channel, where I had a napkin. No, some toilet paper, not napkin. Oh, well, it probably was a napkin. Either no, toilet paper or napkin, whatever, it doesn't matter. And when I rubbed the tissue paper, it would it'll flake out. It'll start sending little particles of the material from the tissue into the air. And I was running the laser beam and then rubbing the tissue, and then you see all the little particles from the tissue floating and helping illuminate or reflect the laser light. So there was the dirty laser, the whole using dust particle or some type of particle or something small that can but reflective, that can be put in the air, so that way the air, you can project onto the air ish, right? Project onto the air a laser, right? Or laser light, or project light onto air. Technically you're projecting it onto the particles, but the particles are in the air, and there you go, good enough. Because if you think about the old Yu-Gi-Oh series, whenever the Kaiba's Duel List system, specifically the Duel List system, the Duel Disc plus the Duel Arenas always had that special effect where you see all these little sparkling lights popping up, and then you see the hologram. What if that's the dirty laser? You know what I mean? And I wouldn't be surprised that's where my initial inspiration came from, was from that realization. Like, what if that's like particles, like some type of like dust particles, they're being emitted into the air, so that holograms can appear, can be seen. You know what I mean? What if these are like small little nano drones, like small little nanotech drones, drone-like stuff, so that way they can float, right? Because that's why I'm saying drones, because they'll stay in the air long enough that you can project the holograms onto them. It would be extra interesting. What if what it is nano drones? Let's go back to the nano drones. I want to coin that, the nano drones concept. I just came up with it right now. The nano drones. It's not like I've been had this idea. I just thought of it right now. Nano drones. So they're small, hard to see, right? Because they're microscopic, right? But they have the ability to illuminate, and then they shape, like they fly around fast enough, and they blink like lights, and they're pigments. Basically what I'm saying is nano drones, pigments, and that's how you create the hologram. What if that's what Kaiba did? What if that's the holographic technology? It's really just drones lighting up lights, basically pixels, right, in air. I'll make a video where I'll just talk about that, the nano drone concept, and that'd be funny. Right now, here's the announcement. You just heard me just formulate that idea, and this is how I think. I'm like, oh, what if that's what Kaiba did? Smart son of a bitch. Sorry if cursing offends you, but anyway, yeah. My next video will more likely be about the nano drone pixel hologram or whatever. I'll come up with a fancy name, but for now, the dueling phone case is something. But man, that'd be so cool. Nano drones. I can make holograms with nano drones. I think I did it. I finally figured out how to do true holograms, so to speak, with nano drones. Get on my level, Kaiba. Get on my level. And that'll be the end of the video.